Good morning and welcome to the TMS Book Club. My name is Sewela Langeni from Book Circle Capital. We're an independent bookshop that focuses on African literature. And this month, for August month, which is Women's Month in South Africa, I'm happy to continue on the series where we are talking to women authors in South Africa. And today we have Onkabetse Rethabile Masobe, author of Daddy Issues. Welcome, Onkabetse.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for making it. So the book Daddy Issues focuses on stories by 9 unrelated women who talk about the presence or the absence of fathers in their lives and how it impacts, the society. Why did you choose to write about this?
I actually woke up to an instruction to write about daddy issues, and I was like, very random, but I get it because like every second person I spoke to, let me rather say like 80% of the population I experienced in university had daddy issues.
Yeah.
So when I got the instruction, I was like, random, but instead of doing one story, let me actually do a group of stories. Let me do it like a research project.
Yeah.
Like maybe I can solve daddy issues, but no one's actually sat with someone and said, why is this such a common occurrence?
Yeah.
And what is the root cause? So then that's how the 9 stories came about.
And how would you describe this concept of daddy issues? We use it a lot in our even day-to-day talking, but in the context of your book, what is daddy issues?
Daddy issues is essentially looking at the father figures as like the trunk of a tree.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the family dynamic being the branches. So daddy issues is essentially like a whole tree on the family dynamic.
Yeah.
But the fathers being the core focus, but you can't avoid the others and solely look at the one if you actually want to see what's happening.
So the women in the book talk about this concept of presently absent. What do they mean by that?
Well, let's say absent, they're not there at all.
Yeah.
And then when you think of present, you think you have a father at home. Like, what do you, like, he's
What's
present.
the problem? Yeah.
Yeah, but then I think we start to realize presence is not just being physical in body and physically in place.
Yeah.
It's, are you actually present in someone's life? Do you know what's happening in your child's life?
Yeah.
Do you know what presence looks like to them? Because then we also unpack how presence actually differs for people.
Yes.
So I guess presently absent is when there's probably a dad at home, like, your dad, you see him every day, he sleeps at home.
Yeah. But you
he's
never
as
get
good
to
as
talk
absent.
to him.
Yeah, he's just a body.
What are some of the issues you think leads to this presently absence?
I don't know, I think it does definitely speak to the history.
Yeah.
Because we become what we know.
Yes.
And a lot of our fathers had fathers who, I guess they were miners.
Yes.
They worked in different towns and cities. So when they became better parents, they were focused mainly on financial provision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I'm at home, that's like an improvement plus financial provision.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then they didn't realize that they're actually still quite absent as much as they might still be home with their families.
When I was going through the book, I wondered why you personally chose to write about this. Is this something related to your personal experience?
I think so. I am one of the characters.
Okay,
so definitely.
definitely.
So definitely, but I knew I didn't have it the worst because I actually have a good relationship with my dad.
Okay.
Well, especially right now.
Yeah.
And when I finished writing the book, we were like on good terms. He was the first one to read it.
Okay.
But I still wrote it because I knew I was an anomaly.
Yeah.
And that the issue was still very evident and spread across South Africa and the world at large.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me still take it on because you mustn't just write because you see a problem or because the problem's yours, but you should still say something because you're trying to help where you can.
Yeah. So far, how's the book been received?
And it's been received really well because I think that's all people wanted.
Yeah.
To be able to look the issue in the eye and be like, I'm not being dramatic. It doesn't mean I'm being ungrateful.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean my experience was that bad, but there are certain things that have affected who I've become, which I need to address in order to do better.
Yeah.
But then we're looking at being better, but we're not looking at why you need to be better or what the
source
was, what the source was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's been received quite well, and I guess people have thanked me and they said they feel seen and heard.
And I like you mentioning the format because it's almost like a diary entry where the women are saying, this is what I expected and I didn't get. That's the format you were going for, to keep it that raw, that it's not a story told, but it's personal accounts from the contributors.
Yes, because I think I realized as well when we speak about daddy issues, we normally always speak about how our family sees it or how we feel like we're being ungrateful if we speak about issues at home.
Yes.
But you never really say how you feel and how you feel it. It's very policed. So now I was like, let's just speak, just go off how you feel. I'm not going to police it. I'm not going to say it's problematic.
Yeah.
If you think it's problematic, you'll catch yourself.
Yeah.
But you have to just pour out. as and how you felt it.
So the process of writing the book itself, so is it self-published or you worked through a publishing house?
Self-published,
okay.
Yeah, I write the whole thing surprisingly.
Yeah, and that process of self-publishing?
I think it was a bit hard in terms of I knew what to do because I researched the whole process.
Yeah.
But it was just getting the required people who are going to produce quality, understand the vision, especially the sensitivity and care required for this sort of project.
So you are a chartered accountant.
I am.
And I thought to myself, how did this come about from a CA, because we assume you guys are all about numbers, to writing?
I think I've always inherently been a creative, but not necessarily a writer.
Yeah.
But I've always had dabbled in different forms of the arts.
Yeah.
And somehow in my first job articles, training to be a CA, that's when I started writing the book out of nowhere.
So what's next for Onkabetse?
Well, in terms of daddy issues, there's Daddy Issues 2, which is from the son's perspective.
Lovely.
They weren't forgotten. We know they also have daddy issues, but I thought they needed their own book.
Yes. We wish you all the best on that project, and we look forward to, reading about Daddy Issues 2. For those of you who haven't picked up Daddy Issues 1, it's available at all good bookstores all over the country. We have copies as Book Circle Capital. That has been the TMS Book Club for our series on Women's Month. Thank you.